I watched the France-Spain semifinal on my laptop, tilted low enough that my manager could still pretend not to notice. Before halftime, my group chat had already exploded. Not because of the goals, not because of the defending, because everyone believed the referee had ruined the match. One friend demanded a suspension before the replay had even finished. Another wanted FIFA to apologize publicly. I told them to relax. The tournament would end, the trophy would be lifted, and the outrage would disappear with the final whistle. I was wrong. Referee controversy does not disappear after a World Cup match. It simply changes address. People assume a referee who makes a disastrous decision gets suspended by FIFA the following morning. Wrong. Public suspensions create headlines. FIFA usually prefers something much quieter. It calls the process a referee performance review. That sounds professional, clinical, and completely harmless. But sometimes it means a referee's name quietly disappears from the next assignment sheet. No dramatic announcement. No televised hearing. No official statement admitting that FIFA selected the wrong person for one of football's biggest matches. The referee is simply not there anymore. Back in 2006, 2 senior officials were removed before the knockout rounds after difficult group stage performances. They were not publicly marched into a disciplinary hearing. Their names just stopped appearing. That may protect referees from public abuse. It may also protect FIFA from publicly admitting its own appointment failed. And that is where the uncomfortable question begins. Is the secrecy designed to protect the officials or to protect the organization that appointed them? This year, France's coach publicly questioned whether the semifinal referee belonged on such an important stage. FIFA's public defense was essentially one word: yes, not a detailed report, not a breakdown of the disputed decisions, not an explanation of what the internal assessors saw, just confidence without evidence. Somewhere between public support and private grading sits FIFA's real disciplinary process. Almost nobody outside the organization can see it. People assume that once the trophy is lifted, nobody watches the disputed footage again. Wrong. That is usually when the serious rewatching begins. Federations prepare complaints. Coaches collect clips. Supporters slow decisions down frame by frame until every movement looks suspicious. A call lasting 2 seconds can create arguments lasting 4 years. Egypt's federation filed a formal complaint over its knockout elimination after the tournament had already moved forward. Online forums can keep one disputed tackle alive long after players have returned to their clubs. A referee's name from a 2022 quarterfinal is still connected to one chaotic night years later. That official had handled Champions League finals and major domestic matches before the World Cup. One difficult game still placed an asterisk beside the rest of his career. People assume referees are anonymous figures who appear in yellow, blow the whistle, and disappear after 90 minutes. Wrong. Most return to domestic football almost immediately. The stadium becomes smaller, the cameras become fewer, but the reputation follows them home. Every future appointment invites the same question. Is this the referee from that World Cup match? One disputed night can become the opening paragraph of every article written about him afterward. Players are allowed bad games. Coaches are allowed tactical disasters. Referees are often remembered almost entirely by their worst decision. And unlike players, they rarely receive a microphone to explain what they saw. People assume referee decisions are challenged only by emotional supporters and angry television pundits. Wrong. Sometimes the pressure comes from federations, governments, sponsors, or powerful people surrounding the tournament. A referee can make a decision correctly under the rules, yet still watch the consequences change afterward. The original call remains official. The punishment connected to it may not. That creates a different question. Was the decision wrong, or did it simply become inconvenient? Everyone in football is expected to accept the referee's authority during the match. Afterward, powerful institutions can begin negotiating around the result. That does not automatically prove corruption, but it does reveal that sporting decisions do not always remain inside the sport. FIFA's rulebook says VAR should intervene only for a clear and obvious error. That phrase sounds precise until 2 people are asked to define clear, translated for normal humans. Everyone must already suspect the decision is wrong before technology is allowed to confirm it. My American coworkers believe VAR makes football more accurate. My European friends believe it adds 5 minutes before everyone starts shouting again. Both sides eventually become furious. They simply become furious on different schedules. VAR was supposed to end arguments. Instead, it often gives every argument more camera angles. Before VAR, Supporters argued about what they thought they saw. Now they argue about shoulder lines, frozen frames, contact speed, and which replay FIFA chose to display. More evidence has not necessarily created more agreement. Sometimes it has created more detailed disagreement. There is another form of referee scrutiny that broadcasters rarely discuss honestly: the betting markets. A single stoppage time whistle can change thousands of payouts before the sound has finished echoing around the stadium. For supporters, the decision changes a match. For bettors, it changes money immediately. Those people may never contact a federation. They may never write a formal complaint, but they will remember the referee's name. A decision can be technically correct and still create thousands of people who believe they were robbed. That makes the referee more than a sporting official. For several seconds, he becomes part of a financial transaction. FIFA's internal review continues quietly after the cameras move to the next match. Assessors grade accuracy, positioning, communication, consistency, and match control. Almost none of those scores become public. The public usually sees only the 90 seconds a coach was angry enough to mention during a press conference. That imbalance creates suspicion. Players receive public ratings. Coaches face public criticism. Teams publish injury reports. But the people judging the match are judged almost entirely in private. Maybe that secrecy is necessary. Maybe publishing every score would expose officials to even more harassment. Or maybe secrecy allows FIFA to avoid answering uncomfortable questions about its own appointments. Both explanations can be true at the same time. I used to think arguing about referees online was something people did because they had nothing better to do. Then I spent 45 minutes explaining offside to my roommate using ketchup packets across the kitchen table. He still did not believe the flag was correct. Neither, apparently, does half of Europe about a match played several years ago. Somewhere right now, someone is replaying a corner kick from a game that ended before you finished reading this sentence. The players have showered. The stadium has emptied. FIFA has moved to the next assignment. The argument is still loading. That is the real afterlife of a World Cup referee decision. The whistle ends the match. It does not end the verdict. The trophy gets lifted. The referee leaves through a tunnel. The group chat never closes.